Hi guys, hope you had a good weekend. Today we're going to move on to chapter 10. I think we're doing really well with trig. So we're going to look at 10-1, area of parallelograms and triangles. So area of a parallelogram is pretty darn straightforward. It's just base times the height. All you have to do is be able to find the base and height of the parallelogram. And sometimes they'll give you numbers of the side lengths versus base and height. So if this is the base, the height is a right angle from the two parallel sides. So that is not the height. This straight down one is the height. And later that might get a little tricky. But the reason this is if you were to extend this area down, it would be a triangle. That's the same area as this triangle. So if you were to take this area and place it over here, then it would be a rectangle of this length of a base. You just take the base over there. And the height. This is why this area of a parallelogram equation is the same as the area of a rectangle equation. So area of parallelogram, very straightforward, as long as you can find base and height. Area of a triangle, I would love to ask you this. Take a second, what is it? Very good, it is 1/2 base height. And that's all from the fact that a triangle is really just half of a rectangle. Right, if I were to fill this in, that's half of a rectangle. That's why we take the area of a rectangle equation and divide it by 2. All right, let's apply this in workbook page 255. Do not forget units. I wrote a really big note to myself, units, because units are so important. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to do some of your problems with you, and then the rest of them you will do by yourself. So we're looking at page 255, number 1. We have a base of 14. And we have a height. It is giving us the height, not the side length, of 3. So my area of the parallelogram, it's A sub P, P is beneath the A, is just the base times the height. So 14 feet times 3 feet, and then we end up getting 42 feet squared. This is why units are important. It is because a foot times a foot is a foot squared, much like 3 times 3 is 3 squared, or x times x is x squared. A foot times a foot is a foot squared. All right, number 10, we have a triangle, and we have a base of 11 and a height of 3. So the area of this triangle is 1/2 base, which is 11, and height, which is 3. 11 inches times 3 inches. So we simplify that, we get 1/2 times 33 inches squared, because an inch times an inch is an inch squared. And then we do 1/2 of 33, and we get 16.5 inches squared. All right, 16, I'm going to give you a little hint on because it's harder. It is a word problem. It says, in a parallelogram, a base B and its corresponding height h are in the ratio 5:3. The area is 135 millimeters squared. I need to find B and H. So we just need to write an equation where we don't know base and height. Really, it's just 5 times some unknown x and 3 times some unknown x to make sure they're in that ratio. So our equation is just area of a parallelogram, which is base height, which in this case is 5x times 3x equals, that's 15x squared. So 15x squared equals 135, because we were told that the area equaled 135. Then your job would be divide both sides by 15 and then square root to get x. So I just gave you a little hint on 16 because it's a little bit harder as a word problem. All right, good luck with the area of parallelograms and triangles. I think this should be pretty straightforward. And then later this week we will look at areas of a trapezoid.